Are you ready to transform your normal e-commerce business into one that experiences exponential growth year after year using online advertising? If so, this show is for you. Me and my guests will show you how you too can grow your e-commerce business to 7 or even 8 figures so you can go on more luxurious vacations, spoil yourself and your family, say yes to more opportunities, and become financially free so you never have to worry about money again. Welcome to the E-commerce Performance Marketing Show.
Hey, Josh Marsden, your host of the E-com Performance Marketing Show. Now, I'm bringing you this episode from my dining table because, unfortunately, my office is being sanitized. Nobody can go in there. All doors are locked. My key card doesn't work. And so this week, even though there's going to be just as much value as every other week, I am going to be giving you these episodes from my dining table. So join me today as I go through why email marketing is so vital and so important to your e-commerce business. Now, I've been doing email marketing since back in 2013. That was really kind of like my first foray into digital marketing. At the time, I was selling marketing automation services and email marketing services. I was really good at being able to automate an entire business between marketing and also operations even. And one of my earliest wins was with an e-commerce company called Nosh Detox. They were selling juice programs and a bunch of other similar products, all designed to improve the health of females. Essentially, that was their target audience that they were targeting, and they sold a great variety of products that help people feel better, have more energy, have better digestive systems, and just feel better altogether. And they came to me because they wanted help. They wanted help with their email, with their marketing automation. They wanted to really tap into what their marketing automation could do for them. And so I was like, yeah, sure, I'd be happy to help you. And I brought them on. They were one of my kind of earlier clients. And what I engineered at that time was a promotion, and it was a specific process that I mapped out, built out personally, and then did all the copy for it throughout the entire funnel. I didn't call it funnel at the time. And I launched it, and they made 44,000 in like a week, and they made the same amount in a month in the month prior. So I basically doubled their business that entire month because of that one promotion. And that's the power of email. Email marketing can make a big difference, and not just for promotions. You need to have email marketing set up throughout your entire e-commerce business. When someone comes to your website, you should be capturing them using a good high quality lead magnet, which I'm sure we'll cover in an episode here on the show at some point. And then you want to move them from becoming a lead in your database into becoming a customer. And you do that through email marketing and through automation. So if you can get your emails truly dialed in, that's where you can really see some substantial conversions in your business, because it's not the first touch that does it. It's the seventh. It's the fifth. Like 5 to 7 touches is what it takes to convert someone into a customer. So you have to have your email marketing really dialed in to really maximize your traffic that you're getting to your site. And then let's factor in digital ads, paid advertising, Facebook ads, Google ads. Facebook ads and Google ads and any other ad channel out there, Snapchat, Instagram, you name it. To be able to maximize the ROI that you're going to get from your ad spend that you spend on advertising from any channel out there, you have to have an email marketing system baked in, built in to your business. Let me give you an example. So we help a lot of very successful companies that are doing multiple 7 figures, even 8 figures. And 30 to 50% of their monthly revenue is from email. And on top of that, because of how paid traffic works in an entire business, when we're paying for ads on Facebook, email helps us monetize that and increase the ROI we're getting from ads. That's why email marketing is so vital and so important, and a big part of our ARM5 formula strategy and process and systems that I went over in a prior episode. So I highly recommend you take this episode very seriously, and I'm going to keep it very actionable, because I want you guys that are watching this episode, I really want you to use email marketing to be effective and to really drive results in your business. So let's start with just talking about email for a sec. So an email's job, you can break it down into some specific tactics, like the subject line, for example. Let me just talk about that for a sec. So the subject line, it's all about just getting someone to open the email. Okay. So what I'm going to teach you in this episode is going to help you get more opened emails in your database. I guarantee you that if you take action and if you implement everything that I go over in today's episode and you track it, you need to track it to see the progress, to see the improvements in your business. You're going to see better performance from your email marketing. Okay. So subject line is one of the most important things that you could really cover, that you can really implement in your business, because if you get your subject lines done very, very well consistently, you'll see really, really solid open rates, upwards of 20, 30, maybe even higher percent, as opposed to the industry standard, which is 10 to 15%. Now, if you're doing 10 to 15%, it is the industry standard, but it's also because you're possibly not doing email marketing as effective as you could. Because email marketing still works very, very well. As I just went over, 30 to 50% of our clients earn their monthly revenue from email. So email definitely works very, very well. This is actually a great metaphor that I heard at some point fairly recently. So email marketing is like that old beat up car that you still have, that you're just, you value. You're not going to get rid of it, because you've got some sort of special attachment to it, and it just keeps running. It just keeps going. That's email marketing for you. Email marketing's been around obviously since you got mail, AOL back in mid 90s. However, even though it's been around for over 20 years, 25 years, it still works. And so you definitely want to take it seriously if you want to be able to grow your business, and especially if you want to be able to maximize your ROI from digital advertising on Facebook and Google. So the subject line is what I'm really going to focus on in today's episode, because again, I want to keep this actionable. If I were to go over everything in regards to an email, it wouldn't be as actionable. But if I just focus on helping you get better open rates by really focusing and leveraging subject lines in your email marketing, that's going to make a big impact to your business. So let's talk about that for a sec. So there's a few different themes when it comes to email marketing. Okay, there is fear of missing out, FOMO. There's curiosity. There's value, there's questions, and there's special. And I'll explain all these during this entire episode. So fear of missing out is, pretty self-explanatory. When you're using a subject line that is really focused on creating like that fear of missing out feeling, you're communicating that something is about to disappear, something's about to go away, you're about to miss an opportunity. That's essentially what you're getting at. And these subject lines can be super simple. Like, for example, I'll give you a few today. Major opportunity. That's a great subject line. Or time sensitive, colon. And you can add whatever you like to. You can say the doors are open, for example. Those are two really good subject lines that create that fear of missing out when someone sees it in their inbox, on their phone, or on their desktop. And it's going to cause them, I should say, to open that email, because fear of missing out does motivate people. It plays into their neuro-linguistic programming, because none of us want to miss out on something that is valuable, that has value to us. And it does create curiosity as well when you use FOMO subject lines. Now, the next one is curiosity. And I know I just kind of tied that into FOMO because FOMO has a little bit of an element of curiosity. But curiosity is really like where you're coming at them from a very blind angle. Like you're not being direct at all. And you're saying something that's just like off kilter. It's just really, really different. And it creates curiosity. And it can be very simple stuff. Like, for example, you send an email with a subject line that says bye, and then maybe has like a wink. That's and like a frowning face. That one's a really good one that will work really well. Or sorry, frown, or oh no, exclamation mark, frown. That generates curiosity. I love using curiosity in my subject lines. And I feel like that curiosity is one of those pillars when it comes to using subject lines effectively, that is fairly easy for anybody to implement into their emails. So curiosity is something that definitely works. I highly recommend that you start thinking about how to apply curiosity into your subject lines, because it will definitely make a difference. So the third one is value. So value is being a little bit more direct. This is where you're communicating what the email entails. What is the value of that email? What does it have that's going to provide value to the recipient? And this could be just, again, very direct. Like, for example, I gave my audience, my list recently, an invite into my upcoming ARM5 Formula Accelerator on June 8th, which is an 8-week results guaranteed program where I'm going to be working exclusively with 10 companies, and I'm going to help them implement the ARM5 formula. And I used various subject lines in my campaign, but one of them was a little bit more direct. It was like, "You're invited, comma, first name." And then it said, the RM5 Formula Accelerator starts on June 8th, period. Very direct. You can use this for delivering anything that's free. Like, you could do free : name of the freebie that you're giving out to your audience. You could do it with like case studies, Q&A, replay, any type of like offer. You can put that into the subject line and then send that out, and that's going to cause the open rates to increase because people are going to see that there's something of value in that email. I want to check that out. That's where that comes from. Now, the next one is questions. So questions, like, they kind of play into the curiosity bit, but because they really like demand the reader to like pay attention, to open the email and find out what that email entails. Why am I being asked a question in the subject line? And they definitely lead to great open rates. So I highly recommend that you incorporate questions into your emails as well. Like, for example, an email that I've used before is, "Do you still want my help?" Question mark. That's a question email, and someone's going to see that. They're going to open it because they're curious about it, and they feel like that. Oh, I need to get back to Josh. So you can apply that towards your email marketing as well. You can say, like, "Do you want to purchase X product?" Or "Do you want to solve X problem that your product solves?" That one's actually much better. Use that one. Those are questions that you can use in your subject lines to get people to open your emails. If you're selling services, you can say, "You want to work with me and my team directly," or if you're just solo, "You want to work with me on XYZ." So questions definitely make a big impact. I highly recommend that you incorporate those into your subject lines as well. And then finally, the last one is the special pillar. So the special pillar really evokes emotion, and they really disrupt patterns in emails. And so, some good examples here would be like urgent : and then saying something to the extent of, "At midnight tonight, this disappears." Curiosity, and it's special, right? Because urgent is special. That's very different. Most people don't send emails in a subject line that say urgent. Or, "Do you want to see the secret behind product XYZ?" That's the name of your product. Again, that's special. That's going to also incite curiosity, but it's also not pure curiosity. It's very different, but very specific. And that's going to cause people to also open up their emails as well. So I'm going to give you a bonus here. So this isn't something that's 100% original. This is from a former mentor of mine, Ryan Levesque, who is one of the brilliant marketers in the digital marketing space. I highly recommend you follow him and learn from him and buy his books. I'm a big advocate of the Ask method and just about everything Ryan Levesque puts out. Great guy. And I learned a lot from him. I paid a lot of money to learn from him as well, over a year. And so his email line here is one that works very, very well, and I highly recommend that you use it at some point. "Do you hate me?" Try it out. I guarantee you it's going to make a big impact. You're going to see your open rates increase versus any other subject lines you've used in the past. Everything I've given you in this episode is super actionable and can make a big impact to your open rates. But again, applying this, you want to track it. So make sure that you have like a very basic spreadsheet, whether you use Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets, to track the effectiveness of these subject lines, and write down every single subject line you use in that spreadsheet. And then take a look after a week, take a look at the open rates for those emails based off the subject line, and go look at past data. Before you start implementing all the actionable content from this episode, pull up the past 30, 60 days of emails and take those subject lines, put them into that same Google Sheet or Microsoft Excel sheet, and put down the open rates as well. And then start implementing some of the stuff to compare and contrast. And you'll see how this can make a big impact to your open rates, which open rates is going to then lead to more clicks, and it's also going to lead to more results. Okay, so, and I'll leave you with this, and then I'm going to close out today's episode. Some other kind of golden rules of email that I highly recommend that you adopt is one, don't put an image at the very top of your email. That cannot be the first element in your email. And the reason why is because when someone checks their email on their phone, because usually most emails are being checked today on their phone, they're going to see subject line and they're going to see like a snippet of code that is essentially your image. And they're going to be like, what is this? And they'll just keep scrolling. They're not going to see text. You want them to see text. So don't put an image at the top of your email, make it text at the top of your email. If you want to put an image in the middle of your email or towards the bottom, that's totally fine. Okay. On top of that, also make your emails like readable. Make it like very easy for someone to consume. And here are some tips. And this is actually copy tips. You can apply this towards sales pages, landing pages, product pages on your e-commerce site. You want to have your copy be one sentence at a time, space, one sentence, space, one sentence, space. Makes it very easy to consume. You don't want to use these chunky paragraphs that are going to lose people. So don't do that. Also, you want to use a good font size. I recommend like 14. You also want to use a good font type. I recommend Arial. It's common. It's widely accepted. It's very easy for people to read. And then on top of that, with your emails, you want to have 2 to 3 links in each of your emails. And links meaning that you can take text, make it clickable, or you could put the link in the actual email. I definitely recommend that you do that as well. So this way you get plenty of clicks on your emails, and you can't just do it with one, you have to do it with 2, maybe even 3, okay? Besides that, I also recommend, this is a little bit more advanced, but I recommend that you Google UTM Google Builder, okay? If you do that, you'll see several links coming up, and one of them is going to be the Google URL Builder. And this is where you can basically build a link for example, your e-commerce store, your product page on your e-commerce store, your sales page, or wherever you're driving traffic from your email. And you could put that link in there, and then you could also set the source, set the medium, set the campaign, set the content, set the term. Those are the 5 values, the 5 variables you can attach to the link. And that's going to be valuable when it comes to setting up like Google Analytics reports that reflect on your e-commerce site. So if you have conversion set up in Google Analytics, you can also cross-reference that, compare that to, let's just say you're using these UTM links on a consistent basis. You can see how much revenue you're getting from email because that's the medium. And if you're using links in all your emails and you're using UTM links and your medium is set to email, which it should if you're putting those links in email, then you could pull up what is the medium of email doing for revenue on my site. You can basically tell Google Analytics to tell you what's your revenue that you're generating from email. So I definitely recommend that you start using that. Again, it's a little bit more of an advanced topic, and I'm sure we'll cover it at some point in the e-commerce performance marketing show. However, if you're impatient, you don't want to wait for that episode, I totally get it. Seek out my good friend, Chris Mercer of measurementmarketing.io. He's got some great stuff, some great content, free. He also has some great paid, very value-priced membership offers for you to really learn how to use Google Analytics and UTM links more effective as well in your entire business, not just your email, but also all your other channels such as ads, such as your Facebook Messenger or your blog, you name it. So I definitely recommend that you check out that stuff if you want to learn more about that stuff right away. Otherwise, stay tuned. I promise you I'll definitely cover that at some point. So that's it for today's show. Thank you so much for being a member of the audience, for watching this show, and thank you so much for consuming this episode. I always recommend that anybody watching this, they go and take action, they apply this lesson. This way they get better performance from their marketing in their e-commerce business. So make sure to do that. And besides that, I am putting on an exclusive 8-week workshop results guaranteed to 10 exclusive companies. You might be watching this and it might be filled, but if you want to have a shot at being one of those companies and you really want to grow your e-commerce business very fast in this intensive hands-on workshop with me, then go ahead and click on the link below this episode. So this way you can check out the RM5 Formula Accelerator, where I'm going to help you implement our proprietary strategy and process that has helped our multi-7, 8-figure companies that work with us that are paying us $5,000 or $10,000 a month be able to scale and grow using digital advertising, email marketing, sales funnels, you name it. I'm gonna help you in this entire 8-week workshop implement all the systems in your e-commerce business so you can see better results from your e-commerce business, and especially if you're using digital advertising from Facebook or Google, this system is going to help you maximize your ROI from every single click that you're paying for on Facebook, Google, or any other channel out there. So if you're interested in that, click on the link below, submit an application right away so you can be considered. I'd love to work with you, and if you're a great fit, I'll invite you on board and I'll walk you through this entire process. This way you can implement the RM5 formula in your business over 8 weeks, again, with results guaranteed. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. I truly appreciate it. If you appreciated this episode, go and hit like and also hit subscribe. And stay tuned for the next episode with Aaron Parkinson. He's going to share some incredible tips on Facebook advertising that you're going to love, so stay tuned.
Thank you for tuning into the e-commerce performance marketing show. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment with a timestamp of your favorite part and share it with a friend. Until our next episode, here's to you and the success of your e-commerce business.